Hello guys, Jack here. Before we start talking about why you should do a roll call and why you should answer a roll call, let's talk about first how many ways you can die as a villager. So as a villager, you can die when gunner shoots you, or Jail kill you, werewolves attack you and you die, Avengers tag you, junior werewolves tag you, villagers vote you, and solo killer can kill you. So many ways you can die, and let's classify these ways of dying into a few tag categories. The first category, or the most common one, is evil rules that kill you. So werewolves can kill you, the solo killers can kill you. This one is the most common one. One of the important thing you need to remember is that if an evil rule kills you, they'll miss the chance to kill someone else. So it's either you or someone else that's gonna die. This means you can potentially sacrifice yourself for another more important role to survive. So keep that in mind. The second category is that the villagers kill you. This means a gunner or a jailer killed you when you are a villager. They use their bullets, they use their resources on you. This is, in my opinion, the worst thing that can happen when you are a villager, is that some gunner or jailer killed you. So if villagers waste their limited resources on you, they cannot use them on anyone else. They cannot use them on the evil roles they are supposed to kill. So you must try to avoid dying this way. So avoid getting killed by villagers as much as you can. So the third category is by voting. So they voted you. Voting is also villagers' resources. If they vote you, they will miss a chance to vote another person who is potentially a werewolf. You do not want them to vote you at all because you can give Headhunter a chance to win. Try to avoid getting lynched as much as you can. Do all the possible you can. So now, what's a roll call? Roll call is basically, as it says, we ask roles. So as a villager, you should always answer a roll call no matter when it happens and how it happens. So on first day, if someone asks your role, if you're a doctor, say you're a doctor. Oh no, but Jack, I will get killed by werewolves if I say my role. If you don't claim your role, however, you'll get shot or jail killed or tagged by Avenger, which is even worse than killed by werewolf. So it's the worst thing that can happen to you if you die in the hand of villagers, because you yourself is a villager, right? Getting killed by werewolf actually makes you a meat shield for other teammates, meaning you basically save someone's life by trading yours as doctor or protective role. If you claim doctor on day one when asked who you are. So you want to avoid getting shot. So you must say your role as doctor if you are asked role, right? This is why in high rank, some people claim to be doctor on day one because they risk getting killed, of course. But if you think about it, do werewolves really want to kill their scapegoat? I don't think so. So when people ask your role, always answer, no matter when, no matter under which circumstances. This way you can guarantee that people don't waste resources on you, don't shoot you out of nowhere, don't say what you are, to guarantee that no one misunderstands you. Beating werewolves is always better than getting killed by villagers, always. The only circumstance where I think you could lie about your role is when you are a random villager. So if you are grumpy grandma and you claim to be a normal villager or sheriff, it is possible because normal villager and sheriff could also be random villager, right? Unless the game mode doesn't say so, right? If you want to hide your role as grumpy grandma or mayor, you want to make miracles happen, obviously, because you want to hide the roles. Then if the solo killer is getting an upper hand, maybe you can make miracle to happen as the last villager versus only solo killer. It happens in some rarely, but it could happen. So if you want to hide your role, you can lie about it as random villager only, because it doesn't really matter with the role, with the elimination method. So if you are a grumpy grandma faking someone as a normal villager or sheriff, you'll also be counted as a random villager. So the elimination method will still count you as a random villager, so it doesn't mess up the count. So you'll be fine. So now, what if you were asked role as a werewolf? You can only claim a role that's not already claimed, right? If you're a werewolf, usually you claim to be random villager, but when all random villagers are dead or claimed, you can claim to be doctor, right? If doctor is already claimed, then you have to find a role that's not discovered yet, like jailer, medium, or whatever. But this will buy you some time. Instead of instantly dying by voting, you might prolong the game by one night. So it is still worth the claim. It's better than claiming nothing. So how many ways a werewolf can die? They can die by shot by gunner or jailer, tagged by avenger. They can die by voting or by solo killer. So the worst thing that can happen to you is to the death by voting and by solo killer. A smart solo killer will avoid to kill random villager claims because there's a chance that the random villagers are the werewolves that are hiding, and they'll avoid also to kill seemingly fake informers because there's a tendency, there's a probability that the informers are fake also. So if ever you get yourself killed by random solo killer after claiming a random villager or faking informers, consider yourself unlucky and hope for a better solo killer next time. Death by voting is equally bad, since villagers can vote someone every day. It's basically their free kill without extra consumption of their resources. Try to avoid getting killed by voting and by solo killer as much as possible. But how? That's when the first day claim comes in. Basically, most of the cases you want to claim a role that at the start of the game that is essential for your survival. Usually as a werewolf, you want to claim as a random villager. As for the new addition of Beast Hunter, you can also claim to be Beast Hunter. But be careful though, if you see too many Beast Hunters in the game, too many Beast Hunter claims, or someone else in your team already claimed to be Beast Hunter, you better have another claim, because the more people claim Beast Hunter, the more Beast Hunter as a claim will become suspicious and less credible, right? So having a role at the start of the game also can help you to dodge roll call. So if someone asks you what's your role, you can tell them you claimed a random villager on day 1 and invent whatever. You are Avenger, you are Sheriff, you are Grumpy Grandma. Just invent something that people can believe you. So if you claim it on day 1, it gives you more credibility than claiming later on. Also, you can claim to be an informer like a seer or seer or detective or spirit seer. For this part, I'll make a video on it. It is equally valid and sometimes even more credible than claiming to be a random villager. For this one, I'll make another video on it later on in the future. Stay tuned. If you get killed by gunner or jailer, it is better than getting killed by voting or by solo killer. You consume villagers' resources. If they can run out of resources, that's good for you. They'll have harder time to deal with other werewolves and with solo killer. Do as much as you can to consume the resources as if you can do so. Think about ways you can do that. I have a few in mind. How about when you are discovered as evil, try to claim to be shaman full and try to really convince them that you are full and force them to shoot you. And what if you are discovered evil on day 1, then try to claim to be jailer or a medium and try to delay the time or force jailer to jail kill you. So these are ways that you can force people to put a bullet in you and waste their resources so they have less resources to deal with other werewolves and solo killer. As a side note, tagging gunner and jailer as junior werewolf instead of tagging informers is always better. You can effectively slow down how fast villagers can kill werewolves by killing these roles who have bullets. So gunner and jailer is much more valuable. Even if you are discovered as werewolf, if they don't have gunner or jailer, they cannot really kill you, right? So they can only vote you, which is only once per day, and that's really slow for them. So some people may say, no, tell role is not fun and you should guess it. It is the point of the game, guessing roles. Well, in my opinion, that won't help anyone in the game. Villagers will start to kill themselves if you don't say role when you have a roll call. So for me, it is not practical to climb the rank ladder. For quick games and sandbox, you can do whatever you want, but for rank, it is recommended to do roll calls and answer roll calls as honestly as possible as villager. Roll call is really good for the villagers, and how to answer them as a werewolf is an art that you have to learn in the game. You need to learn it by experience in different situations claim to be different roles, and sometimes you might want to even claim to be solo killer to protect the solo killer in some cases. So this is something you must learn from experience, and you can even watch my videos, why not, to learn how to deal with different situations, how to claim roles in these situations. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.